Hey guys, welcome to our very second episode of TFLtoday, and this is our daily show. Well, we're going to try to do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, which is what, Andre, time in New York?
It's noon on the East Coast and, of course, 9 o'clock on the West Coast.
Yep, and the idea is to kind of do a show where we can have an ongoing conversation with you guys. So if you have any comments, please fill them in, and we will try to answer your questions. And like I said, we're going to try to do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every day to have this it's kind of a podcast almost, Andre, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a video podcast, and please provide your comments, questions, so we get feedback from you guys about what you want to see next and about this conversation today.
Yep, it's your chance to interact with us. And Andre, since you're here, what are we doing today? Yesterday with Nathan, we did the top 10 new car trends, and so with you here,
Top 10 new truck trends.
That's right, the top 10 new truck trends, and there's a lot of them.
Yes.
So let's start away and go for number 10, please.
Number 10.
Yeah.
Towing cameras.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
They're huge.
this week has been kind of a dually truck week at TFL. So we've been doing iGauntlet testing with all the 2017 brand new diesel pickup trucks. We had the Ford F-350, we had the Ram 3500, and the Chevy 3500, and all of them have cameras, some more than others. So Chevrolet and GM just came out with a system they call IntelliHall.
Hey, Christian. Sorry, I'm just saying hi to some of the people. Hi, guys.
IntelliHall system from GM puts cameras under each towing mirror.
Yep.
And a camera on top of the cab looking into the bed for gooseneck hookups, which was great today. I was just hooking up a trailer this morning, dropping off some equipment, heavy equipment that we were using for towing. So camera, and I was talking.
We're getting a lot of comments, Andre. Tommy, if you see some comments, just jump in and ask us questions, because Tommy's off camera. I can't read the question; it's very difficult. So if you see anything that's interesting, jump in. What? Anything?
Nope. Just a lot of hellos.
All right. Hello, all.
Hello.
Anyway, Andre, I think before we get into this minutia of what we were doing today, the important part about the towing cameras is that there's a difference between the way that Ford does it and the way that Chevy does it. And that is, they all have, obviously, cameras that are mounted in the rearview mirrors. But the big difference is that Ford's back camera, the one that's on the trailer, is wired, whereas GM's is wireless. Yeah.
Yes.
And people have emailed us and asked us, where do you get those cameras?
Well, the GM system, Chevy and GMC, is a dealership bought and installed system. So you can contact your dealership and they'll help you. There's actually multiple levels. You can get just 2 cameras or all 4. So you can choose which package you want. But here's the main difference. Ford's system is basically integrated at the factory.
Yep.
Right? It's built into the screen menus. It looks more holistic, right?
Yep.
GM system is sort of an add-on. So you do have a truck, and then you add a system to it. You have a little bit of a different menu to select the cameras. And Ram has 2 cameras.
Yep.
Just a cab and a tailgate. So I think we'll see more cameras in the future and better integration.
Any questions, Tommy, on cameras?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of questions already.
Yeah.
Matthew wants a shout out.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey, Matthew.
Okay, so first question regarding Ford. Do you guys think the new EcoBoost 10-speed will be reliable?
Ooh,
We can't comment on reliability right away because we only spent, a week and a half with the truck, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say at this point. But Ford built in so much technology because they introduced the EcoBoost engine in 2011.
Don't pound it because you'll hit the... There you go. You'll hear that.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting passionate
about
this.
Yeah, you are getting passionate.
Ford introduced the EcoBoost system in 2011. So they've had, 6 years of experience with it. And they're building their knowledge into the new engine. So I'm hoping that it'll be more and more reliable as it goes.
What I would say is the first 9 speeds came along with Range Rover and then FCA and the Cherokee, and both those had issues. And it wasn't necessarily the issues with the actual gears, the mechanics of the 9-speed. It was the computer software, the code that controlled it. So that's tweakable. I think they may have had those same issues with the Raptor. They were held up a long time. Initially.
Yeah.
So, it's here, guys, I would always say, if you're making trucks your job, I would always wait probably for the second year production of any vehicle, because the first year, the way that it works is, of course, they do a lot of testing, and then I was actually talking with Ram about this. Then they build the first few vehicles, but they don't sell them. They actually hold them on the lot. Finally, when they get some feedbacks from that kind of initial group, then they retrofit somehow, if it's a software update, to those vehicles, and then they finally sell them. But nevertheless, I'm always more conservative. I always like to wait at least till the second year of production. And the last year production is always a great one to get. Yes, Tommy?
We have another question before we keep going with our list. This is from Robert. For your money, 400 TRD Pro or Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk, reliability is very important to me.
This is a truck show.
Yes, and I really love the TRD Pro 400, so I'm a little bit biased because I think the ride on that truck is great in the city, and it does well off-road.
You know what we could do, Andre? I don't want to get lost off topic here.
Right.
And you guys, I appreciate the questions, but let's do this. Let's do a Jeep show next week and a
off-roading show
next week. Yeah. Let's stick to trucks because this show is going to get put on YouTube and it's going to be top 10 truck trends. And if we start going about Jeeps and Volkswagens, it's just going to
kind of a rat hole.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to number 9, Andre.
Number 9. Soft open tailgates. I mean, this is kind of several years of this trend is already happening. And,
yes, I love it.
All the trucks now, mid-size, half-ton, heavy duties, are progressively using this technology. Where basically a dampened tailgate. When you click it open, it slowly lowers, and it's assisted, so it's not as heavy to close it.
Yeah, it used to be when you opened up, like on Big Green, the tailgate, bam, it slams. It can't be good for the tailgate. It can't be good for the bed. And those dampers, I think the only downside to that is that they're heavier.
Well, the damper system maybe adds a little bit of weight.
Yeah, and there's more stuff to break.
Right, but
what's your favorite tailgate? I know mine.
My favorite tailgate.
Mm-hmm. And this is. And I know. Andrew's
there's another trend related to this. Is tailgate steps.
Yeah.
Ford has a system where you pull out a step and you step onto it. And my favorite is actually a Chevy system where you have a step in the bumper to jump onto the tailgate.
And my favorite tailgate is a Honda. You know why?
Oh, double swing?
Yes, it's so cool. It opens up like this,
yes,
or it opens up like this. It's really thoughtful, so you can swing it out, or if you want to sit on it, you can lower it and have it as a...
But it's not dampened
I know,
on the way down.
But still...
Because it was too much complication.
Honda doesn't get enough credit for their pickup trucks.
Yes.
Most people don't consider it a pickup truck, but that tailgate is really cool. And actually, we're not talking about this today, but that in-bed audio system is really cool.
I agree.
The little 6 speakers that actually resonate through the bed. That's some of the best technology out there. Let's keep going.
And another thing on the Ridgeline, its bed is actually wide enough to put 4x8 sheets of plywood right there between the wheel wells.
Hey, by the way, we did a live video where we got called on that when we were trying to load the engine into the pickup truck, our new engine. By the way, coming soon, we're going to give you, in about 2 minutes, I'm going to have Tommy come in here. We're going to give you an update on Big Green and the new engine that we got for him, but we should have known that it's 48 inches between the wheel wells, right?
Well, of course, it's been like that for a very long time.
We knew it, but when you're on camera, sometimes your brain goes boom.
Well, no, but some trucks are actually wider a little bit. Some trucks are narrower.
But 48 is the standard.
But 48 is the standard for full-size trucks. At least you have to be 48.
And one of you guys actually called us on that, so thank you. All right, number 8, Andre.
Number 8, adaptive cruise control system.
That's been around a long time. What's so cool about that?
Yes, but they're just entering the pickup truck world.
Yep.
It's been luxury car territory, luxury crossover territory, but now these systems are going sort of also into more affordable vehicles, but also pickup trucks.
Yeah,
for example, Ford.
Yeah, Ford has this really cool technology that allows the truck not only to slow down, but it also brakes the trailer, right? And we got to use that recently when you were testing the heavy duties, Super Duty.
Yeah, when we did the Midnight Eye Gauntlet with the brand new F450 2017 truck, it has a lot of technologies from the F150 actually. So it has lane keep warning. It has the adaptive cruise control system, which also brakes not only the truck and uses the transmission grade shifting, but also sends the brake signal to the trailer and using the trailer brakes to slow you down too.
That's pretty crazy. Tom, any questions you want to highlight?
Peyton is a big fan. He wants a shout out.
Hey, Peyton. Get a shout out, dude. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.
What happened to the 2017 F350 dyno video?
What happened to it? We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. We didn't like the quality of the live video, so we took it down. I wasn't happy with it. And sometimes we hate taking down videos, but there's sometimes where the quality is just not good enough. Plus, we didn't think it was fair to only have one truck and not all three trucks. There was a kind of a fairness issue. And we do have all three, and that's not a live video. That's a video that we actually recorded. So hang on. We'll put that up on TFL Truck, so it'll be there. All right, number 7, Andre.
More tailgates.
More tailgates. Damn, I thought we were done with tailgates.
Powered tailgates. And this is a great feature on the F350 that we're just testing this week. First of all, and also the F150, you can use a key fob to lower your tailgate.
That's cool.
So when you're walking up to the truck. But when you're in the F350 and you're backing up to a gooseneck trailer and your tailgate is closed, you don't have to stop, get out, open the tailgate. You can actually push a button on the dash and the tailgate opens.
That is pretty cool.
So there is more and more of these convenience features.
Yeah.
They do add complexity, right?
Yeah.
Because you have now more buttons,
more stuff to break,
more systems, but it's more convenience.
All right, more powered stuff. Number 6. What is it?
Powered mirrors.
Powered towing mirrors.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we've got mirrors that obviously fold in,
Yep.
which is actually very handy when you're in a big truck. But then I was driving the F, once again, it's Ford. Ford seems to be pushing this technology a lot. I was driving the F, the dually, and I ran outside. Tommy was behind me to push the mirrors in because we weren't towing anything. And so I ran outside at a stoplight, pushed both mirrors in, and then got back in the truck and then kept driving. And Tommy pulled up next to me at the stoplight and said, "By the way, there's a button that does that."
You're like, don't.
I was like, don't. And I thought it was really cool. And speaking of Tommy, before we get to number 5, Tommy, why don't you come on over and let's fill these guys in on what's happening with Big Green, because Big Green is no longer slow.
You want to slide over here?
Yeah, I'll slide over.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah. I'll slide over. I don't want to block this because there's the engine we got.
Yeah, so Big Green is still slow currently, but now Big Green is mid-engine to rear engine, and that's because we have a new crate engine sitting in the bed of our 1985 Chevrolet K10. So that truck currently has a 305 V8 in it, 2-barrel, and our friends at Chevrolet Performance really helped us out this week. Just out of the nowhere, we got a shipment, and it's a new crate engine, and that's it. So it's the ZZ6 turnkey. So what this engine is the newest version of their ubiquitous 350 small block. And this is a really neat package. So the turnkey comes with everything you need to pretty much plug and play directly in our truck, or if you've got a Camaro or anything else that'll take a small block Chevy 350. So pretty much I
love this number. 405 horsepower.
That's just over 400 horses, and it's not supercharged or anything. It's a naturally aspirated engine.
Yep, so we kind of went with a period correct engine, so it's going to be carbureted, but it does have some cool features. Still has a cast iron block, but it's got a forged steel crankshaft, aluminum, they call them fast burn cylinder heads, 4-bolt main. And then with the turnkey option, we also have distributor and balance shaft installed, as well as a carb, starter, fuel pump, alternator, front end, accessory drive kit, all included. So it's a really comprehensive package. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and you guys may be wondering why we decided to go with a 350 that's carbureted, because up here at a mile above sea level, obviously fuel injection would be smarter. And the reason, quite honestly, is cost. You know, we are journalists. We can probably do some relatively minor or maybe somewhat not so minor kind of shade tree mechanic things, but swapping engines is not what we've done. The last engine I swapped was in college, and we swapped out a 350 into a Ford F100, my friend and I, and it never had the heater working because we never could hook up the heater. We put, and I bet you didn't know this was possible, but we actually put in the camshaft backwards.
Okay.
So we were trying to start it up, and it wouldn't start up, and we were pouring like the starter fluid into the carburetor, and all of a sudden there was this eruption, like 14 feet of flame that came out of it.
Yeah. I think everybody has to do that once in a while, right?
Yeah. And then the other problem with it was, because we also swapped the transmission, we didn't count on the fact that the hole for the transmission was right where there was a cross member. So we actually had to cut through one of the Ford's cross members to get the transmission up. And if we had gone with like an LS3, right, which is something Chevy offered us, then we would have also had to gone with a different transmission because the two pair together.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah. So they've got this package called the Connect and Cruise, which is an engine and transmission combo.
Right.
Right, but you can't because of the way the emissions work. You can't have like our what's the transmission that's in the manual?
The SM465.
Yeah, we have the SM465. You can't have that next to an LS because the electronics don't work. So you have to go with a transmission, which means you have to change the entire drivetrain, which we might have to do anyway because this engine might detonate the one that we have. But this one's really plug and play. You just pull out the old and put in the new.
I think it's probably one of the easiest painless swaps on the market.
And the 85 Chevy K10 had a 350 option.
Oh, yeah.
Back then. So this is kind of just a optional engine that should drop in.
Yeah, but an 85 350 would not have been this sophisticated. It would
Or
not have
make
developed this
400.
power.
No,
No way.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, and we couldn't have done this without, obviously, the engine costs about $9,000 from GM, so they donated that to us. Thank you, GM. And of course, we have to pay or do the work ourselves. And like I said, we're in the business of producing videos, not in the business of swapping engines. So we're going to have to find a shop to do it for us. It gets very expensive. And guys, we live on YouTube money. We have to pay our salaries, and that's just an... Yep. Sorry, guys, we lost you.
A small hiccup.
Yeah, Tommy, you want to go see if there's any comments that you can read? Yeah, we'll move back to our little position here.
Set up here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so what are the comments? What are people saying?
Do you think Ram will hit 1,000 pound-feet of torque this year?
No.
Not this calendar year, but I think 1,000 pound-feet of torque is coming from somebody somewhere.
Yeah, not this year.
We've got questions about why the sizes of badges have gotten so large.
Because you want to show off
It's a trend.
your brand.
Yeah.
Is that a good trend?
It's an old trend. It's been around. Everything comes around. Push button transmissions. The old FJ had a huge Toyota across it. It's not new. It's part of the deal. Yeah.
Do you see a possible demise of the half-ton V8?
It's going that way. Yeah.
It's moving that way, but I'm really thankful that the 2018 F-150 has a V8 5-liter Coyote, upgraded it, once again, and Chevy is really big into V8s. I mean, the 6.2 V8 and the Silverado and the 5.3. So I think those engines will remain for a few years.
Especially with Ram, because they don't have a lot of money to develop new product out of the heavies. So they're probably going to keep working on that Hemi. They've got their engines architecture down. They're busy trying to redo the chassis, come up with a new 1500.
Okay, anything about the Ram Rebel TRX?
Oh yeah, there is news on the Ram Rebel TRX. I have this is how
a bird on your shoulder, or no?
Yeah. I would say chances are good that will be built, but more likely it'll be built on the new 1500 chassis. So don't expect it like in the next year or two. So what I'm guessing is, this is my guess. This isn't official, but my guess would be that the 1500 new one will come out. We don't know when yet, but sometime soon.
Right.
It's the second oldest truck in the business now after the Frontier. And then, of course, they want to keep all the spotlight on the new truck. And then to bring some excitement to it, they'll also, like they did with the Demon and the Hellcat, then they'll come up with the TRX.
Yeah, and I agree absolutely. And the current Ram Light Duty is sort of at the end of its life cycle right now. So making a completely new off-road package doesn't make sense at this moment.
One of the most popular questions we get, Andre, is people ask us, should I get the model that I'm looking, whatever it is, today, or should I wait for the next one? And I have some advice on that, and I got it from a friend of mine. A long time ago, I had one of the very first iPods, right? And my friend was like, "Hey, I'm going to get the new iPod. Should I wait?" No, I was going to get the new iPod, he was going to get the new iPod, and I had the old one. And I said, "Well, you're lucky you're going to get the new one." And he said, "Yeah, but you've had the old one now for a year, then you've had a chance to use it, whereas I haven't had anything for a year." So that's kind of my thought. If you're always waiting for the next version to come out, the new Raptor, the new whatever it is, right? In the meantime, you could have had the old one and been driving it, enjoying it versus always. That's kind of your thing. You're always doing. Andre, you're the classic at this. You're always looking at for the next truck.
But I'm also like the early adopter. But when I hear something greater happening next year, I'm like, wait, should I wait for the great thing next year because it's going to be awesome? Or should I buy something right now? And I'm always waiting.
You're always waiting, and you never have a chance to actually use and enjoy whatever the thing is now. All right, should we go to number 5, Andre?
5, yes. Exhaust brakes. Number 5 on our list.
They've been around a long time. What's new about them?
Yes, but hey, look at this. First of all, heavy duties have had them. Now, mid-size GM trucks in Canyon and Colorado now have a small diesel with an exhaust brake. So this feature is actually very helpful going down grades. You know, we live in Colorado and we do a lot of our testing here in the mountains, and going down, it's more actually important to go down the mountain safely rather than climb the mountain safely, because you can always stop on the way up. You may not be able to stop on the way down.
And this is a really good point, Andre. Give them a little sneak peek at what happened when we were doing the dualies going down the Ike Gauntlet. We've been doing that testing. By the way, guys, this year we're really focusing on the heavy duties. Not only have we published a video on truck that is a drag race on this channel now, you've done the 0 to 60s, but we also did the Ike Gauntlet with them. We also dynoed them, and we also yesterday you actually in the snowstorm did the 100-mile loop with all of them. And the reason for that is because Andre is a glutton for punishment. No, that's true. He's really working really hard. But the reason for that is because they're new. It's the big, out of all the trucks.
A lot of new
things. The Ford's new, the Duramax is new, and of course the Cummins keeps soldiering on.
So the exhaust brake, the way it works basically, and now the turbochargers are getting more and more sophisticated. There's variable vanes.
Yep.
So you can actually have a lot of smart software that actually can create more back pressure, and this is what you're using to slow yourself down.
Like the big boys almost.
Yeah, like the giant semi-trucks.
Yeah.
And this technology is going through all the trucks, and it's using the turbocharger as the solution for the exhaust brake. And my question is this. Ford has a lot of EcoBoost engines, which are gasoline.
Yeah.
Why not put an exhaust brake on a gas motor?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know all the engineering details.
Maybe if you guys know the answer, we could put it there. By the way, let's give them a sneak peek. What were we towing this year? One year we towed half track. We tried to get a tank. I tried to get a Sherman tank this year. It turned out it weighs 80,000 pounds. That's a little bit above our grade. But what did you find, and who did you get it from?
Yeah, we found a great rental place for Contractors Equipment Center, and they have they're on I-25 in Dacono.
Yeah, okay.
So those are great guys, and thanks to those guys for helping us out. But they have all kinds of equipment. So if you are building something and you're a contractor, you can just rent something for a week or a day.
Yeah, and we're doing a shout out because Andre went in there with Ken to see if we could rent some backhoes to tow, and they actually let us have them because they were fans of the channel. So thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Like I say, we live on YouTube money, and when we don't have to rent equipment and we get it from you, we're very grateful for that.
But we got two basically tracked little excavators or track hoes, and each one of them weighed about 6,000 pounds.
So that's 12.
So we put two of them on there.
Yeah.
That wasn't enough weight because we're trying to reach almost 23,000 pounds with the trailer.
Yep.
And so we put some more water on it. So we put 2,500 pounds of water.
And how much does the trailer weigh?
22,800 pounds, which was a hair over the Chevrolet 3500 rating.
Okay, so we just went a little bit over, and of course that trailer is a Big Tex trailer, another one of our sponsors.
Yep.
One of the ways that we actually do this type of testing, and when you think about like the MPG loops, we run 3 trucks. We have to fill them up with diesel 3 times, right?
And Ford has a 48-gallon tank.
Yeah, and so it's sponsors like Big Tex that allow us to actually do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and we want to thank them for that. Let's keep going. Number 4.
We have a response to Andre, actually.
Yeah.
Whether or not this is true.
Yeah.
But Joseph said variable turbos can't withstand gasoline heat.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting.
Variable vane, variable. Okay.
That's what he said.
Yeah, it could be.
Another person said gas engines don't have the compression, but.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
All right, number 4. What's the number 4 trend?
Number 4, what do we have? Air suspension.
Yeah.
Air suspension.
So they're coming.
Ram is really big into this.
Yeah.
First of all, they have in the light-duty half-tons trucks, they have the Rebel with air suspension. They have air suspension across their lineup of half-tons. They're also using airbag helpers on heavy-duty trucks like the 3500 Ram that we have this week. And I think it's a trend. Semi-trucks have used air suspensions for decades, right?
Yep.
And Ken, is very passionate about air suspensions. Right?
And by the way, if you go over to Truck Today, we have an Ask Mr. Truck where he answers that exact question: air suspension or
leaf springs
or coil springs. So if you want to get into that discussion, Ken talks about it. And we have to once again give a shout out to another one of our sponsors.
Yes, Airlift.
Airlift, because those guys once again make these videos possible. But I'll give you guys some insider insider information. I was just at the Jeep event, and I was talking to Mike Manley, who is the CEO of both Jeep and Ram. But I was also talking to one of our great PR contacts, and I was having this conversation with him, and I said to him, you know that you've got the second oldest truck in the business, right after the Frontier, the Ram 1500. And he turned to me and he said, which company has air suspension? And I was like, well, you guys do. He goes, which company has the only diesel in the half ton? I go, you guys do. And that's the way that Ram looks at it. Even though the truck's the oldest, they're the only ones that offer these.
Yeah, they have features that they're introducing over the life cycle of the truck.
Yeah, so take that for what it's worth. They're very happy with the truck that they have because they're offering a lot of kind of exclusive. Of course, they can't sell the diesel right now, but that's a whole other conversation.
And the
not the heavy duty though.
Right, not the heavy duty, but on the heavy duty, the air spring is actually a helper. There is also a leaf spring under there.
Of course, yeah.
So semis actually go to
complete
air suspension, which is, I think, in my opinion, better, because even though the heavy duty Ram does have air helpers, it's still kind of a bumpy ride. So, I mean, there still needs to be some improvement and enhancement for the system.
Well, when you go to like full-on air suspension, you can also you get a compressor,
Yeah.
and you can use that compressor to fill up your tires. You can use it to fill up.
There are other benefits.
Yeah, you can actually even run like an air jack on. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. All right, number 3. And Andre, what does it say? 7, 8, and 10. What does that mean? What's 7, 8, and 10?
Those are the gears
Oh!
in the new transmissions, right? So Nissan just introduced a 7-speed in their Titan, which they've used in other vehicles before, and then they're introducing it for their pickup trucks. Ram has had an 8-speed for a few years. Now Ford, a 10-speed. 10-speed. And they've developed this 10-speed transmission with GM. So I'm guessing that GM will start using, they have a 10-speed Camaro.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that they will start using a 10-speed in their pickup trucks as well.
I agree. And, reliability, longevity, these are all probably questions that are on your mind. And we'll watch it. We've been asking the manufacturers for a long time to get long-term test trucks so that we can do things like test reliability. Nissan, thank you, was the first one that came along and gave us the base Frontier. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff with that. Mm-hmm. And then next month we get the Power Wagon for 10 weeks, which is huge because usually get them for a week. So not enough to do real reliability testing, but you'll see a lot of Power Wagon videos coming, especially one this weekend. Tell them what's coming up on Truck this weekend on our Truck channel. You got to go to Vegas with Nathan.
Yes. Sorry, there's so much happening this week that my brain is a little bit fried. We went to the introduction of the launch event for the 2017 Power Wagon.
Yeah.
And this was just north of Las Vegas. And Tommy, I think, is going through some of our website stories. And it was a lot of fun. We went into the Valley of Fire, which is a beautiful, this rocks and desert and sand dunes, beautiful area, and we got to test drive the Ram.
Yeah, you got to crawl, you got to high-speed run, desert run.
Yep.
And the cool part in the video, which you'll see...
And we also turned over a vehicle using a winch.
That's the only with the winch. And you also got to do that ramp, right, the test articulation.
Yeah, the RTI ramp. So we did. So a video is coming out tomorrow or this weekend of our Nathan. Right. Nathan and I were doing this together.
Yes.
So that video is coming on TFL Truck channel.
Yep. Any comments, Tommy, that we should be replying to?
You guys are great. We have so many new ones. We've got a lot of questions about the new Frontier.
Yeah.
Any news on the new Frontier?
No news.
Not yet.
No news. Nissan is exclusively focusing on the Titan. Obviously, it's the Navara. Is that the name of it in the rest of the country?
Right.
But a lot,
and the rest of the world. Yeah.
There's a lot of confusion. The Navara and the old Navara and the old Frontier didn't share a whole lot of components, and the new Navara and the new Frontier don't. The Frontier, like the Japanese manufacturers, build their trucks exclusively for the North American market. So,
and they build them here, actually.
Yeah, they build them here. So, like the Tacoma has very little to do with the Hilux, and people often conflate those two. They think that they're very similar trucks, and they're not.
Mm-hmm. We have a comment.
And the Titan,
we're
a little bit washed out. It's not coming through here.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Really white background. We apologize for that.
Yeah.
But the Nissan, I think Nissan wants to still unveil the V6 Titan. They're gonna have another option. And after they do that, we might hear about the new Frontier.
Jackson's really wondering what you think of the new squinty headlights on the Silverados.
I don't like the new squinty headlights, and I also don't like chrome. I think Chevrolet uses way too much chrome.
Yeah,
on their front
there's
ends.
like two ways now. It's either completely murdered out, blacked out, right, or it's all chrome.
chromed out.
There's got to be some happy medium where it's not like crazy pimped out or crazy blacked out.
I really love the GMC styling.
All right.
But,
Number 2. Now we're getting to the top 3. These are big trends. This is a huge one, Andre. Half-ton diesels.
half-ton diesels. Obviously, Ram has had the EcoDiesel,
Yeah.
the 3-liter, and now Ford has announced for 2018 calendar year, probably mid-year, 3-liter V6 diesel as well.
Yeah, that's coming out of the Range Rover most likely. So Ford, when they sold Range Rover, kept the diesel factory in the UK. And Ford does not confirm this, but we're guessing this is probably pretty true. The 3-liter that's in the Range Rover, the diesel, is probably going to be the same engine that's going to be in the new F-150. The downside is that that's an expensive engine, and so look for a significant premium, I think, when the F-150 with the new diesel comes out. And that's not going to be for at least another year and a half.
Year and a half or
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Or more than a year at least.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to take a while. I think it's going to be expensive, and so if you guys are waiting, and I shouldn't say it's going to be expensive, there's going to be a significant premium. And if you guys are waiting for that one, you're going to have a while to wait.
And my take on this is we've tested a few Range Rovers with the diesel.
Yeah.
And they were impressive. They did the iGauntlet well, they did the efficiency runs well with the trailer. And if the Ford has anything to share with that engine, I'm excited about this engine because Range Rover has been very successful with their diesel.
Lots of torque, lots of not huge horsepower, but lots of torque.
Yeah.
Any comments, Tommy, we should be addressing before we get to our number 1?
Yeah, people are wondering if we're going to see a Tundra diesel.
This has been a rumor for a very long time, and a lot of people said, the Cummins V8 that's in the Titan may have been also in the Tundra, but there's no official information whatsoever on this.
No, there's nothing. Both Ford and Chevy and of course Ram have multiple engine powertrain options, and Toyota has one engine choice. And so I think if you want to compete in that half-ton class, one engine is not enough, Andre. That's my gut.
I think they do have two V8s, but their strategy for Toyota, or at least for...
But basically it's one, right? I mean.
Well, they have the 5.7
Yeah.
and the 4.7,
right?
But their strategy is reliability.
Yeah.
So they're very careful on introducing new engines.
Yes.
And the facelifted Tundra has just showed up in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't touch the engine.
Right.
The engine is still the same. So I think Toyota engineers are really focused on the reliability.
And my sense is, if you really want to play in that game, you got to offer more than a V8. You have to offer a V6. You have to offer some kind of probably now
A diesel, maybe?
a diesel or a turbo. It's just becoming that competitive that offering two different V8s, and you're right, two different V8s. I misspoke. It's just not enough. All right, number 1 trend, Andre. What is it?
More technology in your truck, and specifically,
okay.
specifically trailer
Yep.
backup assist systems. And you test drove this system, and then you, Nathan, and I test drove another version of this system, and which is basically, Ford calls it Pro Backup Assist,
Yep.
Pro Trailer Assist, where you're not using a steering wheel to steer to back up your trailer, but a little knob.
There's a little knob. And so it's basically the technology allowing you to back up a trailer in a much easier way. Because obviously when you back up a trailer, it's counterintuitive, because if you want to go left, you steer right, and if you want to go right, you steer left. Whereas with this little guy, you don't have that issue.
However, I would wager. So I grew up, and when I was driving trailers, I learned how to back up a trailer.
Yeah.
And it was difficult for me to sort of relearn that and start using the little knob.
Yeah.
So I think this is controversial, right?
Are you saying real men don't have little knobs?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But this is controversial because, yes, if you're a beginner
Yeah.
tower,
Yeah.
right, this could be really useful. Hey, I can actually use a knob, and if I want to go right, I turn right. But if you've already learned this over years and years and years, this may be a little bit difficult a system for you to understand.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing about it. So the first time I did it was in a Ford F-150, and it's there's a little bit of work involved. You have to put stickers on the trailer so that the truck knows where the trailer is. Then the next one I did it in was the new Disco, the new Discovery,
Land Rover.
Land Rover. And then I was in Europe with Tommy, and I got the new Tiguan.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that had it as well.
Really?
Yeah. So I think
the European version.
In the European version, yeah. So I'm thinking what it is it's a bunch of software basically that works with the camera. So it's not that expensive to install. And so I think if you're seeing it go from an F-150 to a Discovery to a Tiguan, it's going to be everywhere very soon. So get used to it.
That's a new trend.
Yeah.
That is number one.
Any comments before we go to our bonus trend?
So we've got a lot of specific comments about future models.
Yep.
And a lot of these we just can't answer.
Okay, but give us one. We'll try. We'll give it a shot.
Well, for example, we're wondering about one of our commenters was wondering about the 6.4 Ram in a single cab. I think it was.
A 6.4 liter Hemi in a single cab.
Do you think Ram will put the 6.4 in a regular cab? And we just don't know these things.
Yeah, this is so inside
Specific.
the manufacturer of baseball that we don't know. I mean, they don't tell us. It's not like I can pick up the phone, I can call.
Well,
actually, Ford plays their cards really close. So we get an email or a phone call saying, "Hey, show up here and come here, and we've got a new thing to show you." And
but we're not going to tell you what it is.
We won't tell us what it is. So that's how little we know when it comes to Ford. GM and Ram are a little bit better. So they're kind of a little
bit more open.
A little bit more open, but nevertheless, they do not open up. We're journalists, and in some ways, we're on the other side of the fence, and they do not want us peeking over the fence, seeing what's coming, because the reason for that is they want to sell what's on the dealership's floor now, not what's coming in a year from now, because they know that you guys are like, hey, I don't want to buy it today because tomorrow it's going to get better.
What about this question?
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, is the best looking half ton?
In our personal opinion,
Raptor. I think they knocked it out of the ballpark. I'm serious. It's just you put it up to the old Raptor, and makes anytime you have a new design and it goes up against the old design, and immediately the old design looks old, then they hit it out of the ballpark with that. So I think the Raptor is just a really great looking truck. It's got that classic Coke bottle shape. Yeah.
In my opinion, also GMC Sierra. Not the chromed out one, but kind of a mid-grade Sierra. I really like the styling on that.
And of course, these guys are going to say I'm a Raptor fanboy or a Ford fanboy, but no, I'm being honest about that. I just think it's a really good design. It really works.
Well, when you look at the truck in the parking lot, and it looks like a little...
very good point. Matchbox toy?
Well, yeah. A toy or an RC truck.
Yeah, and
it just looks like it can be a toy, and a 5-year-old comes up to it and...
It talks to that inner kid.
It talks to the inner kid, and then that's a successful design.
I agree, yeah. Anything else, Tommy, before we get to our bonus?
Do you think we'll see a 5-liter Coyote turbo?
Everybody wants that in the Raptor, and we don't have any information officially on this.
I think if you want, you can always supercharge at 5-liter.
V8, or a twin turbo.
Yeah, there are companies that make aftermarket superchargers, so that solution is out there. The manufacturers, Toyota, of course, had their Tundra supercharger that they pulled off the market, and they did that because they were really worried about reliability. To them, reliability is number one. And I was just looking at the reliability. Yesterday, the news came out that J.D. Power did the reliability testing, and Toyota was up there in the top 3. And so to them, that is much more important than sticking a supercharger on a Tundra. And
actually got rid of their supercharger
because of that,
from the Tundra.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry.
Because they want reliability. So to them,
the twin turbo V8. I had an educated guess on this. This is my opinion, not an official statement. But I think the next Mustang GT500, which is a very exciting proposition.
Yeah.
There's rumors about this Mustang might have a twin turbo V8, and that's the rumor. And if that's the case, that engine may show up on other vehicles,
like a truck.
Like a truck. But this is just my opinion.
All right, what's our bonus? Number 1 beyond trend.
Bonus has to do with this.
What the hell is that, Andre?
Whoa! Look at this.
What the hell?
This is the gigantic hook.
How much does it weigh?
This weighs at least 35 pounds or 40 pounds.
And it goes in. It's a hitch, right?
It's a hitch. It's a 2-inch receiver hitch. And it's called the Mega Hug by Gen Y Hitches.
What the heck do you say?
Which is one of our partners and sponsors,
yes,
of course. But this trend is all about pimping out your trucks.
Like SEMA.
Yes, this is SEMA. So this is useful because, look, it can go 2 ways in your hitch. this way horizontally, so it can be used as a step.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like this,
Yeah.
I guess to drag things.
Yeah. Like.
How about recovery off-road?
Like small Priuses. You could.
You could go fishing for Priuses.
You could. Yes.
But if you go to SEMA, and we go to SEMA every year.
We do, unfortunately.
And it's a crazy show because there's so many people there, and it's really hard to do video there. But the trucks are getting taller, the wheels are getting larger, the tires are getting bigger. The axles are getting stronger. I mean, I don't think there's any end to customization.
Yeah, when you need a ladder to get into your truck, you've probably reached the pinnacle of what you can do with a truck.
Right.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, check out. You guys send us a lot of emails every day.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. And there's so many now that we have a hard time answering them, and that's one of the reasons you wrote Truck Nuts.
Yeah, the book.
Yeah, the book. So if you're actually. And this program, yeah, it's true. We've got this program, so we're trying to answer questions both live because we have to actually cover the news. So I could spend the whole day just replying to emails. So this is kind of your chance, but also the book. A lot of those questions are very
towing
general
questions.
Yeah,
new versus used. Diesel versus
I've got a
gas.
6,000-pound trailer I tow across Kansas, and what truck should I buy? And I'm like,
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
It's actually is in the book. So check that out. It's on Amazon, local bookstore, wherever fine towing
Barnes and Noble
book trucks are sold.
Yep.
And let's give them a sneak peek at what's coming next week. We've got some really fun trucks coming because we're still in the middle of the gold hitch testing. So what's the next set of
well, we've done a lot of tow testing already. Mid-size, half-ton, heavy-duty.
and we'll be publishing the heavy-duty stuff next week.
Soon. And we obviously
edit.
we've shot so many videos. It takes a while to process it and edit it. So we will have more videos, including MPG tests, gauntlet tests for heavy duties and half tons.
And we're actually trying something new this year. We're trying to give you more information in a single video. So, for instance, in the past with the 3 heavy-duty trucks, the Ford, the Ram, and the Chevy, we would have done 3 videos. This year, we're all putting them into one. We did that with the Colorado and the Canyon. So they're all going to be in one. That means, actually, quite frankly, that means we make less money, but we figure that's better because then you get all the direct competitors in one video. And it's a lot harder to edit, too. Believe me, to do 3 runs up and
in
down
one day,
and then edit into one video. It's a challenge.
I'm really happy about this because we do them in one day, and it's really important because the weather is similar.
Yeah.
It does change from the morning to the evening, but it's the same day. We have the same trailer. We have the same people, so you have a direct comparison. It's really hard to do, but we're doing it for that reason.
And there was quite a surprise this year, so yeah.
And
I'd like to say any more.
And next week and the next couple of weeks, we will be focused on off-roading.
Yeah, so we've got, what off-road trucks do we got coming?
So we do have the Raptor coming,
Yep.
2017 Raptor, the Power Wagon,
Wahoo!
which will also be a longer-term vehicle for us. We have a TRD Pro, Tacoma coming back. And then we also have the Pro 4X trucks, the Frontier and the Titan from Nissan.
Yeah, so this year we're giving out actually 5 awards for the Gold Hitch, and one of the new ones, we had it last year as well, is the best off-road trucks, and we'll be doing that testing. And we had perfect weather for that until yesterday when it snowed. So it's going to be tough to go off-road in Colorado in the snow because then it becomes a test of tires and not of trucks.
Right, but I still want to bash some snow.
Yeah, we'll bash some snow. So
one last question.
Yeah.
When are we going live? What's our live time?
10 o'clock, we go live.
Mountain
time, which is 9 o'clock PST and noon Eastern time. We're going to try to go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with this show called TFL Today. And I think the next one we're going to do, yesterday Nathan and I were doing a test one, and we'll figure out the lighting. I know it looks really bad. We're really washed out. It's washed out. We'll figure it out. We did the top 10 car trends that we don't dig. We're going to do the opposite side of that coin on Monday, which is the top 10 car trends that we do dig, that we like. And then we could do the same thing on truck on Wednesday if you guys want. Maybe we can come up with the top 10 new truck trends that we don't like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we can do an off-road show or a Jeep show.
And then we could do a Jeep show on Wednesday. And by the way, Tommy, why don't you tell them what you've got coming up on TFL Now on the news segment? Because we did break some news today. Come on back here.
Here, Tommy, use my chair.
Yeah, so my co-star Charlotte and I have a new segment on this channel, TFL Now. It's called TFL News, where we talk about the greatest and the latest in the automotive industry. And this week, TFL broke a story about the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow morning.
Yep, and we have the new Wrangler here. So you're actually
yeah, we've
putting
got
that
the 2017 Wrangler Rubicon
in
Hard
hyper
Rock.
green.
Yeah, it's bright green.
It's really green.
Yep.
It's really, really green. Well, guys, thanks for watching. And remember, check out our other channels. If you want shows that are a little bit more produced, right, a little bit of higher production value. Oftentimes the comments we're getting on these live videos is, why do them? You know, the quality's not great. We understand that we don't control that. We're trying to get the best quality possible in these shows. So we're really working hard to get the quality up, the sound. We're buying more equipment. Hi, guys. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
And they will get better. But if you want the standard, you know, I believe in choice. I believe in giving these guys choice, right? So we read the comments, and the comments are like, why are you doing if the quality's not good? Because we have TFL car and TFL truck where we're continually still producing the same quality.
And pushing quality in terms of testing and video production.
Yeah, we recently went to Moab with the 3 trucks. That took a lot of time and effort. So it's the fact that you guys watched that enables us to do this. So thank you. You're kind of part of this community, and we want to include you in everything we do. And this is really the show for it. So Monday, join us again at 10 o'clock Mountain Time or 9 o'clock Pacific Time or noon on the East Coast.
Somebody said more 360-degree videos.
Well,
that's another technology that we could play with.
Yeah, that one's not quite there yet. We actually tried it a long time ago. We were one of the first to do it. We tried it like 2 years ago.
It didn't work.
It didn't
the
work.
Technology wasn't there.
You want to do VR, which we'll try as well.
I want to do virtual reality, but that's another layer of complexity.
Yeah, it's not there yet. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Ciao.
Okay, bye.